The Bible says, for we wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places. And you say, why would Walt Disney put in all these dirty messages and just, I mean, come on. Disney movies are geared at kids. They're marketed to kids, and they're putting in a nude woman. They're putting in dirty pictures. They're putting in flashing words on the screen that are obscene. Well, I wonder if this has something to do with it. I wonder if it has something to do with it that the former CEO and one of the major stockholders of Walt Disney Corporation, the former president, he was the CEO until 2005. He was quoted as saying that he thinks that 40% of Disney's 63,000 employees are homos. That's what he said. The CEO of the company said that he would guess that probably about, maybe 40% of the 63,000 employees of Disney are queers. That's what he said. Did you know that twice a year at Disneyland they have Gay Day? And at Disneyland, I mean, who goes to Disneyland? It's young guys in their 20s, right? Just think Disneyland's the coolest thing in the world. These guys are, these young single guys in their 20s are like, forget it. I mean, is that really the coolest place in the world to you right now, guys? Disneyland. I mean, come on. You're going to go to, Magic Mountain or something. Come on. But Disneyland's geared toward what? Children or families with children. Okay, and yet, why would a place that's geared toward children have a homosexual day twice a year? Does that make any sense to you? You say, I don't believe you. Okay, it was the last one was Saturday, October 4th of 2008. So what was that? A month and a half ago? That was the last one. We were at Legoland last summer, okay? And we're at Legoland, and the guy behind us on the ride, he was a real nice guy, had a nice family. He had his parents with him and his kids with him and some people, and it was a big family reunion thing. They were at Legoland. He said, good night. He was talking to them, and I was overhearing, listening in. He said, last year we went to Disneyland, and we didn't know about this, queer day that they have at Disneyland. And it says here, let me read this for you. Gay Day at Disneyland, 9 a.m. until you drop. That's the time that it's going to happen. Saturday, October 4th. Put on your red shirt and get ready to ride. Join APGF and thousands of other family, quote, members as we invade Disneyland for a fun-filled day at the happiest place on earth as it becomes the gayest, too. This is the 8th annual Gay Days at Disneyland. And organizers say they expect, and this is in L.A., Anaheim, anybody ever been there? Disneyland, Anaheim? It says they expect more than 30,000 gay, lesbian, bisexual, and transgender people to attend the main day at Disneyland on Saturday. 30,000 were expected to attend this year. Attendees to Gay Days wear red shirts to stand out in the crowd. For more details about the event, go to gaydaysanaheim.com. Okay, so this guy says, well, I was at this Disneyland. I didn't know anything about it. And the guy, while he was telling the story, was wearing a red shirt. And he said, guess what? On that day, I was wearing a red shirt. So here he is at Disneyland wearing a red T-shirt. He has no idea that he's looking around and all these queers and freaks are around him wearing red T-shirts, and pretty soon some queer is hitting on him. He had to go to the gift shop and buy a shirt. I mean, I would have gone just no shirt. If anything, you know what I mean? And I'm not the type of guy I don't go to Disneyland with no shirt on. But I'm going to tell you something. I would have gone into the gift shop with no shirt on and said, hey, take your guess what I'm here to buy. You got 3 guesses what I'm here to buy. I would have had, that red shirt would have been thrown in the moat around Cinderella's castle a long time ago. But the guy he said it was ridiculous. He said, you think they'd tell you or something? He plans a trip. He goes there, and he's filled with queers, and he's got some queer making googly eyes at him. He had to strip off his red shirt and buy a Disney shirt. And that's a true story. That was last summer. Somebody told us that at Legoland, just a stranger that we didn't know. They allow, the Disney company allows the homo organizers to use Mickey Mouse and Donald Duck as the example of a queer couple in their advertisements. They allow them to use that copyrighted trademark when they're promoting this day. And Disney has the largest homo employee organization in the entire entertainment industry. And yet that's the one thing that independent Baptists seem to accept for their kids. Come on, it's Disney. Come on, lighten up. Are you fanatic? Are you crazy? I guess I am. I guess I'm crazy because I don't want my kids watching movies that are produced by queers, produced by pedophiles,
That's right.
homos.
That's right.
Hey, and by the way, don't let the media deceive you. I can tell some of you have already been brainwashed because you know what? Not the Bible, but is it the Bible? Some of you have already been brainwashed because you know what? They're not reproducers, they're recruiters. Come on, man. Have you ever picked up a newspaper? Who are these guys molesting? Boys. It's all over the news. It's in Phoenix. It's across America. And the Bible teaches it in Genesis 9, in Genesis 19, in Judges 19. They're always recruiting the innocents into their filthy actions.
Right.
They're always trying to get a hold of somebody and prey upon them. They're predators. Why do you think they love to go to a children's theme park and invade it with their filth? Why do you think they love to put out children's movies that have subliminal, perverted messages in them? And you can sit there and say that I'm crazy, but you know what? I think you're crazy if you'll just put your kids in front of it. You know, go ahead and take your chances with it. It's garbage. Every Disney movie has a slant. It has a perverted theme. It has a perverted, whether it's Beauty and the Beast or The Lion King with soundtrack sung by queer Elton John. The Lion King, which has queer characters in it. Walt Disney even said that Simba and Pumbaa were their first openly queer characters because they act so queer in the movie. You know, I don't even remember seeing the movie, thank God. But I'm going to tell you something. If you think that's... look, if the Disney movies are bad, you say, what else is wicked about television? Well, number one, are the people on television dressed the way a Christian's supposed to dress? Now, I haven't watched TV in years and years, but can somebody tell me, has TV gotten a lot cleaner in the last 6 years? Because I might be preaching the wrong sermon. Have they cleaned it up? What's worse? You're kidding. And yet, when I was watching TV, you want to know the last time I ever watched TV? You know what the last show I ever watched was? The Twilight Zone. Yeah. I watched it was the old black and white Twilight Zone. And as I watched the Twilight Zone, on the show, the guy on the show, Burgess Meredith was the actor in this particular episode. He was quoting the King James Bible. He was quoting the Psalm 53. The fool has said in his heart, there is no God. He quoted the whole Psalm, start to finish. And I was thinking to myself, finally something good to watch on television. This is a good episode. And this fast, a commercial break came on with no warning, and it was literally girls in their underwear. Completely in their underwear, dancing around. It was some Victoria's Secret or something ad. And I'm just thinking to myself, here I am, trying to watch TV, trying to watch the cleanest thing I could find. It's quoting the Bible. It's the Twilight Zone. And, boom, this comes on. And I just said, God, you've shown me something here. I'm done with television. Amen. I'm through with it. And I didn't even have a television in my house before that, but I would watch it. I was watching it at my parents' house when I saw that, and that came on. And the second to last time I watched television was when I was at my sister's house, and we were watching the show Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. And I thought, oh yeah, great. Harmless trivia. I love trivia. I love trivia games. And one of the contestants was a sodomite. I'm like, good night. You think I want to watch this fairy? Want to be a millionaire? And, same thing. And then right about the same time, I was going soul winning in a nursing home. And I'm in a guy's room, and I was like, oh, what are you watching? He was watching something that seemed pretty innocent. And then, boom, that fast. Commercial came on, and it was a strip club.